What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and for the new viewers, what's up? So guys, today we are doing this really nice beautiful look. I want to call it maybe like a icicle cranberry look, I guess you could say, something like that. I think it's something a little bit different, and it's very cute. This look I actually saw off of YouTube. I will leave her details right here or down below, whatnot. You guys go ahead and check her out. But I saw this look and I was like, oh my god, let me try and recreate the look because it's so pretty and I like it and I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is the look right here. Let me know what you guys think, man. This look is super easy to do, and honestly, most of the palettes that I use today, it's gonna be from Juvia's Place. So one of my favorite makeup palettes ever. So guys, if you do want to see exactly how I got this look going on, then stay tuned, guys. You guys are doing amazing today, and we're gonna kick it off with this makeup tutorial. I actually saw it, just like I said before, on YouTube, and I kind of dumped everything together and I kind of created this look. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do is throw our hair back. You gotta get your hair out of your face, like all of it out of your face. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is make sure that you guys have a clean face. If you do want to go ahead and figure or see my cleansing face daily daytime routine, I'll go ahead and link it up here for you guys. You guys go ahead and check it out. But the next thing that I normally do for my eyeshadows or my entire face is I do my brows. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera. If you do want to see exactly how I do my brows, I'll link that up there as well. I've made like maybe 2 or 3 eyebrow tutorials already, so you guys can check it out. If you want me to do an updated new one, I can, but nothing really has changed. But yeah, just let me know in the comments down below, guys. So I'll go ahead and do my brows off camera. Alright guys, so I did my brows off camera, and as you can see, they are done. Just like I said, if you want to go ahead and check out my brows, go ahead and I will link, or I previously linked the brow tutorial on the above, so you guys check it out. So the first thing you want to do anytime you use any type of eyeshadow primer or any type of eyeshadow, you want to definitely go ahead and prime those lids. A lot of people use maybe like a different type of primers, but I normally have my go-to, which is basically just regular concealer. So this is the LA Pro Grow Conceal in the shade Fawn. Hopefully you guys can see that and it focuses in. But yeah, this is it right here. And what I normally do is I just take a little bit of this. Put this here. Hopefully you guys can see. Alright. Yeah, I take a little bit of the concealer. Squeeze some of this out. There you go. Alright. I take a little bit and I put it on my lids. Just like that. And because I do have dark marks or hyperpigmentation on my lids, these help a lot. And what I do is I just kind of slowly get my same flat tip brush that I use to do my under my brows, and I kind of spread it out a little bit, and then I take my finger and I spread everything out completely, just like that, so that everything blends out nicely. Alright, so once you go ahead and actually prime your lids, you want to set those lids, and normally what I use is the Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder, or you can also use, this is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Either one will work really well. So I'm just going to use the Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder today, and I just use a fluffy type of brush, and I take a little bit of this and I place it directly. That's off the excess. And I take a little bit of this and I just place it directly onto my lids, just like that. And the same thing on the other eye. Alright, so for my actual transition color, I like to go into this palette right here. And that is the Nubian 2 palette, and by Juvia's Place, and I take this shade here, which is Morocco. This is a really nice transition color. I use this color like all the time. It's one of my favorites, like my go-to favorite. So now I have a fluffy blending brush, and what I'm going to do is apply this directly to my, actually let's go this way, hopefully you guys can see. Alright, I'll apply this directly into this top part, like right above the crease, so that it kind of starts that transitioning shade. And all I do is just keep building this color up until you get the desired look that you want. So as you can see, I actually got the color that I want. It's basically just a nice transition color. Now I'm going to go in and use red. So I'm using the Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. And these colors are amazing. These colors are so freaking beautiful. These are really nice, beautiful colors. And I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to use this shade right here. This bottom left shade. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into my crease. So just take a little bit of this color onto your brush, and I have a really nice fluffy blending brush. Take a little bit onto the brush, dust off the excess, and we're just going to apply this directly onto my crease. And then you should start to see that nice like red shade kind of coming through there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to build up this color to the desired look that you want. So this is a shade that I'm definitely loving right now. I'm just going to add a little bit more on that, and I'm going to do the other eye, and then we'll move on to the next shade. Alright, so now that I have the desired look that I want for my eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. And to cut the crease, I'm going to go in and use, I'm going to use the same LA Pro Conceal concealer in the shade Fawn, and I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease. So crease cutting it's kind of difficult, honestly. It just honestly takes a lot of practice, and I'm still kind of getting used to it. Practice makes perfect, so definitely for you new people out there, go ahead and try it out. So I'm gonna show you the way that I cut it, and then hopefully you guys can do the same way and it will work for you. So the first thing I do is actually start from the center, or the inner tear duct right here. And what I do is I kind of make little small lines all the way up. I hope you guys can see that. All the way up and around my lid. Just like that. And that color should be perfect. Right there should be actually really, really perfect. And then all I do is just fill everything in. So I just outline everything first and then fill it in. Just like that. And then I kind of get close to this line as possible, but I don't really want to mess it up. I want that nice straight cut crease look. So I'll put that there, and then this is gonna fade. So then I take my finger and I kind of fade the end part of it right here. So once I actually cut the crease, the next thing I'm going to do is go in and use my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It looks just like this, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to place this onto my cut crease. And the reason why we want to do that is so that we actually set that concealer in place so that it doesn't move, doesn't smudge or anything, and it's a nice surface for you to apply additional eyeshadow on. Right, just like that. Alright, now that I actually go ahead and cut my crease, I'm going to go into and I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Saharan palette. That's this palette right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's this palette, and I'm going to use a light color, and I'm going to use Aman, which is this shade right here. It's a really light, like extra light shade. It is a, wow, I'm just going to use a little bit of this actually. I could probably put too much. So it's kind of like a white, kind of powdery but silver shade. So I'm going to put this directly onto my lid. And this color is going to be placed, hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, this color is going to be placed directly onto my lid where I actually cut the crease. So I'm just placing this right on my lid just like that. And I will start off with just a little bit and then slowly go ahead and bring that shade up, or bring that color out. And all I'm doing is getting as close to this top of the cut crease as possible without like messing it up. So it takes a little practice, and it just takes, you know, just a steady hand and honestly just some practice. The main thing is practice. Alright, so now that the crease is actually cut, what I'm going to do is go in and on the outside, I'm going to add a little bit of a darker red so that I can kind of give it that a little depth, because I think it's missing a little bit of depth. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty Obsessions palette, and I'm going to use this shade right here. This is like a little darker shade. This one. Hopefully you guys can see this shade right here. It's like a darker kind of burgundy type shade, alright? So I'm gonna apply this to my brush, and this is like a fluffy beauty, or a fluffy brush. A fluffy blending brush. Oh my god, I can't even talk today. So it's fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna place this right here at my V. And all I'm doing is just kind of tapping that color right in there. Just like that. You see how that kind of blends in a little bit? That's all I'm doing, just tapping that color or that shade right in there. Alright, so off camera I basically did a little bit of black liner on my lid and then put on my lashes. So now we're gonna do the whole face, okay? So starting off, you want to make sure that you actually have a primer for your face. Like me, if you have really bad oily skin, then you want to definitely use a primer that helps combat that. A good one is actually the NYX Shine Killer. I use this usually every now and then, but I love the Becca Evermatte Poreless Perfecting Primer. I'm currently out of that, and I usually like to go to Sephora to go get it, and unfortunately everything is freaking closed due to the whole coronavirus. So I just have to deal with this one right now, and this is the NYX Shine Killer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. Alright, so I put that on my face, and the next thing I'm gonna do is put on my foundation. One quick tip for those of you guys who have really oily skin is basically whenever you're done putting on the primer, put on a translucent powder on top of that to kind of give it that barrier, that extra protection, so that you guys are able to actually, you know, stop with the oily skin. Like, it helps a lot mattifying your skin to the fact that the oiliness doesn't get out of control throughout the entire day. I'm currently not going to do that now because I'm not going to be wearing this makeup for a long time. I'm just wearing it for this video and just showing you guys and stuff like that. But yeah, like that would be one of the best ways to combat oily skin. So if you do have that, what I would suggest is the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. You can use that, or you can also use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I believe Tarte also has a translucent powder that you can use to kind of blot onto your face, and it will help out a lot, like so much, trying to get rid of you know, your oily skin and stuff like that throughout the day, especially if you live in a very humid climate like Florida, Georgia, Texas, stuff like that. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put on my foundation. The foundation that I'm using today is the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and this is in the shade Y535. That's this shade here. And then I also mix it with the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24 Hours foundation. This is this, and this is in the shade Mahogany. I mix these two together to try and get as close as I can to my natural color. This, like, I have really bad hyperpigmentation, and as you can see, like, my neck and my face doesn't match my chest or even my hand. Like, it's really bad hyperpigmentation. I kind of want to see if I could find ways to get that out of my skin so that I get a nice, you know, a nice clean, I guess all natural chocolatey shade like this, and it doesn't get too dark up here to where like I have bumps and you know, discolorations and stuff like that. I want it to be nice and smooth, okay? But what I do is I mix these two together, and then I basically just apply it onto my face. And what I use to apply it, hold on, see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So what I use to apply it is actually a brush, because I think that using a brush on your face just, it gives it like a really nice smooth finish. So first I would use the brush and apply it all over my face, and then to smooth that out I would go ahead and use a beauty blender, and I would use this section, like the back part right here of the beauty blender, just to make sure everything's nice and smooth, right? So I'll do that now. Like, it looks really crazy on this camera, but in person it doesn't look as bad. So I'm definitely gonna try and work on the camera look or picture whatnot on here. Hopefully you guys can see that it's not as crazy as it looks up there. Hopefully. And then now what I like to do is go ahead and take my beauty blender, and all I do is just do some nice taps onto my face so that everything just nicely smooths out. It looks nice, looks pretty, all that good stuff. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and use, this is the LA Pro Glow Concealed, and I've used this is a concealer that I've used throughout the whole entire video. I'm going to go ahead and use this as a highlight, and I'm going to highlight the points where there is the most light shine onto my face. So, ooh, okay. So that would be right here under my eyes, down my nose, my forehead, just like that, Cupid's bow, and then my chin. So do that, Cupid's bow, and then chin, which is right here at the bottom. What I do is I pretty much just blot. All I'm doing is doing small little taps, and I am just making sure everything is nicely blended out. Alright, so the next thing I do is I go in and I get my beauty blender. This is the same damp beauty blender, but this time I'm using the pointed section. And I go in, and all I'm doing is just tapping everything into my skin, making sure that you can tell the difference here. So making sure that everything's nicely blended out. So the next thing you have to do is set that concealer underneath your concealer all over your face. So what I like to use is obviously my go-to setting powder, and this is the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And what I do is I take a little bit of this. Have like a lot in there. You kind of have to shake it out, you know. So I take a little bit of this, and I'm gonna place this onto my same beauty blender brush or beauty blender, and then I'm going to place this directly on top of the places that I applied the concealer. And you don't necessarily have to blend it in. This is just setting it so that it doesn't move, it doesn't look crazy, it doesn't move, it doesn't go all over the place. Okay, so a lot of people like to bake, but I guess I kind of bake a little bit. I just don't bake with a lot of product. Some people put like way too much stuff on their face. I mean, it still comes out looking good, but I like to bake just a little bit. So I applied it all over my face, just as you see there. And now let's contour. So for contouring, I like to use my go-to contour, and this is the Matchstick in the shade Espresso. It's by Fenty Beauty. It's this dark shade right here. And basically all I do is I kind of look at where my ear is, and I draw a line like right here, just like that. A dark line. Other side, look at where my ear is, and then I just kind of draw a line downward, just like that. Then I blend it out with what I use is, this is the Emax Design flat, I guess, brush or something. I'm not sure what it's called. But all I do is blend it out, and I circulate, or I do like little circular motions. Alright, so once that is nicely blended out, what I do is I go back in with the concealer, I mean not the concealer, the translucent powder, and I apply the powder directly underneath my contour, just to kind of give it a little pop. Alright, so now that everything has kind of stayed on here for a good like 5 or so minutes, I like to take a nice I like to take a nice fluffy blending or fluffy powder brush. Jeez, I can't even talk right now. A fluffy powder brush, and dust off the excess off of my whole face, just like that. And then to set my entire face, what I like to use is the Black Opal. This is the Deluxe Finishing Powder. It's this shade right here. Very nice silky. Oh my gosh, the way that this finishes on my face is like perfect. A lot of people also use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Dark Deep if you are my skin tone. I use that sometimes, but I think that this shade is this is more of a loose powder rather than compacted powder, so I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck when I use this actually. So all I do is apply this onto my face, and I just kind of buff that in. Apply it and just kind of brush it onto my face. So the next thing we're gonna do is actually apply a little bit of highlighter, and what I like to use, this is the Avalon by, what's this by? ColourPop. Wow. Yeah, this is Avalon by ColourPop. It's a really nice gold highlighter, just like that. If you guys do not have this, another good highlighter is Black Ups highlighter by Jenny Jenkins, which is Beauty by JJ. That one is really nice, and it has 4 different shades, so you can use that with a lot of different skin tones. So this one I like because it just has that really nice rich gold shade that I'm looking for. So I like using this. If I can't really find a nice highlighter, I can also use, or what you can also use would be like a eyeshadow. So you just gotta be creative sometimes, you know? Just find something that works for you pretty much. So now I'm gonna apply this onto my cheeks, like right above my cheek, just to give it a little bit of a shine onto there. And then I like to put some on my nose, and then in the middle of my face, like right here. And then some people like to put it on their forehead and a little bit on their chin. And a few people like to hit up like their Cupid's bow. Now we're gonna move on to the lips. And oh, my leg. I'm sitting on the floor, so my leg is like just fell asleep. Oh my god, my leg definitely fell asleep. Alright, so for the lips, what I like to use is, actually what I'm going to use, this is the Fenty Beauty Griselda lipstick, and this lipstick is like a really dark red lipstick. One of my favorites, honestly, because I love a dark red color. And with this one, I'm not gonna use any type of liner, lip liner. You can if you want to. But I just know the shape of my lips really well. So it just works for me, if that makes sense. So the next thing I'm doing is set my entire face with a setting spray. Let me get that setting spray, hold on. Alright, so this is the setting spray that I used, as you guys can see here. The Mario Badescu. I don't even know how to pronounce this. But it's a facial spray with aloe, chamomile, and lavender, and it smells really, really good. So I just spray this, a few sprays onto my face, and just make that air dry. Alright guys, so as you see, this is the final look. So let me know what you guys think. Also guys, thank you so much for watching my video, watching my content. I definitely love it. I definitely appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. All the stuff that I use, all the products that I use for this face, I will leave it down in the description box for you guys. And then also, please don't forget to go ahead and subscribe for my new viewers. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you slam that notification bell so you get uploaded, or you get updated every time I upload a brand new video. Once again guys, thanks again for watching, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.